So really quickly, I'm just going to talk about how I find time to meditate, having a new baby and being a new mom. So first of all, let me say that I didn't become consistent with my meditation practice until after I had my daughter. Before, I just could never get a consistent schedule down, and it's kind of ironic that now I found the time to really put forth and meditate. What was more important to me when I began to meditate, I've been trying to meditate for a very long time. But this time around, I wanted to make sure that I became consistent in my practice, because I feel that it's not how long you can meditate or how deep you can go. You can always develop that later on, but it's how consistent are you? How long can you keep your vibration high? So I started first off with very little time. I started with 3 minutes each day, and I did that for maybe 4 days, and then I would increase the time just a little bit. So next up, I would meditate for 5 minutes. After that, I increased to 15 minutes, and then now I meditate 20 minutes every day. Eventually, I will be meditating twice a day, every morning and every night. I will say that I'm lucky enough to have my partner around who can help me from time to time, so he is able to take my baby girl into another room, and so when I started, she would just be in the room adjacent to me, which was my room. This is her room. Which is right next to our room, and I can take those 3 minutes or those 5 minutes, and I could begin to learn to meditate in a consistent way. And then after that, once I had to push to the 15 minutes and 20 minutes, it got a little trickier, but I did find a way to make it work. Once I got to the 15-minute mark, then I had to definitely find the time to meditate when she was sleeping. So my advice, what made it a little bit easier for me, was that I made it a priority to get my meditation done. I made it a necessity to get my meditation done. I did not want to complete a day without having meditated throughout that day. So, that being said, you know, when baby goes to sleep, there's often a list of things in your mind that you want to get done, you want to get completed. Meditation was always at the top of that list. So even though I had a lot of things on a list in my mind that I needed to get done, wanted to get done, I often had to discipline myself and put meditation at the top of that list. So as soon as she would close her eyes and fall asleep, then off to meditation I was, or I would be laying right next to her meditating. I did use binaural beats. I still use binaural beats, or just guided meditations, which definitely helped me for the beginning process. And she would be laying right next to me. I could know that she was safe, know that she's fine, and still have quiet and peace and be able to lay still and get my meditation done. There are some days where she just has a lot of energy to exert, and you know, she just wants mommy, 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 which is perfectly fine. So, you know, I do have to put meditation on the back burner. But what I do is we have a little routine that we do every night, which is her and I, we take our bath at night. So like I said, I'm lucky enough to have my partner. I'll wash her first, and then he will come down and get her. And because it's a routine, she knows that every night, bath, and then it's time to go night-night. So he'd take her upstairs. She would know that it's time to get her dressed, her pajamas on, and then he'd rock her to sleep and she'd be out. Although she would wake up again sometimes later, but what can you do? But for the most part, I'd wash up and I'd come up and she'd be asleep. So I would know right after that, off to meditation. And that's when I could get my 15 minutes in or my 20 minutes in. And that worked out perfectly. And usually, because she likes me to be laying with her, at night for her to really get into a deep sleep. I would do my meditation for 20 minutes, and as soon as I'm coming out, she will be kind of waking up. So it just will work out that way. So every mom is different, every baby is different, every environment, every circumstances are different. So like I say, my circumstances are that I do have my partner, and that I did not start meditation consistently until after I had my daughter. So it will be different. Some of you mothers may not have your partner. Some of you may have already been consistent in meditation before you even became pregnant or had your child. So maybe it'll be easier that way. I don't know. Maybe it'll be harder. If you don't have your partner, I can't really speak on that because that's not my experience, but maybe some detached advice would be when she's sleeping or when baby's sleeping, every moment you can, even if you're only able to get like 5 or 10 minutes in while baby is sleeping, and then finish the other 5 or 10 minutes, just commit to it and just try to be as disciplined as you can. With kids, you never know what's going on. Everything's a surprise. You gotta flow with the energy and just do your best. Put your best foot forward. And sometimes it's all about putting the intention in your mind that you're gonna get this done. You're gonna be consistent with it. Whatever you need to do it, then do it. My daughter is 9 months. So, well, she'll be 9 months in 2 days. But so she's eating a little bit more and more solid food, and the difference is that when they're eating more solid food, the naps are longer and more solid naps. So I think that I might get a little bit of leeway, a little bit more leeway. The more that she sleeps, the more that she naps, then I'll be able to meditate longer and probably add a couple of other things to my to-do list while she's sleeping, because I know that she'll stay asleep. So moms, when your baby's younger, don't worry too much about it, because that in-between time, that 6 to about 9 months, the naps become shorter. They're maybe like 20 minutes at the most. So I just really take advantage of that time. But other than that, don't be too hard on yourself. So alright guys, that's all I have to say about this subject of how I find time to meditate. We'll have more videos coming soon. Email me your topics, or you can write me on my Instagram. I also have Facebook. Check me out, and I'll see you guys later.